friends, this is Sue at Miller's Laboratory. Thanks for joining me today. I'm a little late getting this posted, but I got one of the books all done, and it is this pretty blue one. And oh my goodness, look how fat she turned out. I don't ever intend for them to be that fat, but sometimes it just happens that way. So we are going to flip through that, but there is one spot in here where I need a couple of journal cards, and I thought we'd make those together, and then I'll flip through and show you the book. So very simple here. I have a image that I printed from the Graphics Fairy. I printed this and thought I was going to use it in the book, and then I didn't. And then this is some of my collage paper that I make. What I do is I take old scrapbook paper that I don't want to use. It has an ugly pattern on it, and I coffee dye it so that it is got a nice color to it. And then on the colored side that I don't like, I collage mostly neutral papers, and then I have these 12 by 12 neutral papers that I can cut up and use for tags and journal cards. So that's what we're going to use. And I think that I'm just going to do something so simple today, but you'll see why I'm doing it this way. I'm just going to glue this image right on here, just like this, centered this way, but at the leaving a little space at the top there. So you know, the background does a lot of work for me because it has a lot of, it looks interesting, so I don't have to do a lot of adding of book page and stuff behind it. So we're going to just go ahead and get the glue on here. Okay, now I'm going to cut this in half. So let me grab my paper cutter. All right, I had to get the big gun out here because I couldn't find the larger paper cutter that I have, and the small one doesn't quite fit. So we've got almost 6.5 there. 7.5. So we're gonna go about, you know what, we'll just cheat and we'll do this. Get a little pinch for my middle there. There it is, right there. Just lined up in here. All right, let me get this guy back out of here. Okay, so we have now 2 cards that are a little bit asymmetrical. That's how I wanted them. And then I think I'm just going to clip the corners on these so they're not so sharp. I'm not going to do a whole lot. And then maybe add a label on the top. That's all I'm going to do with these. Here we go. All right. So let's see, what do we want to do for labels? Got this whole little box of blue ones that I had from another project. And I think I want something, let's see, like that. I like that one on there. Let's see if we can find another one we like. It's a little bit too wide. It's a little bit too bright of a blue. Let's see. Ooh, I like this one. I just need to trim it a little bit. So how is everybody doing today? I hope you're well. It is Sunday afternoon. We have had a nice weekend here. It has cooled down a little bit, which I am okay with. It's unseasonably cool, I would say. It's a little bit too wide. It's okay. We'll save it for another thing. How silly that we have to be so fussy. That's good. Okay. So yesterday I did a lot of heavy yard work. Like we have this horrible vine that wants to take over the world. It really is a horrible vine, and it's coming up everywhere, and it's got this horrible root system that is just all interconnected underground, and you can't pull it all out. It's very maddening. But I worked on that and pulled out as much of it as I could. Otherwise, I feel like it's gonna like cover my house and you know, choke me to death at night or something. It's just that aggressive. All right, I think those are just great, just like that. So anyway, I had 2 wheelbarrows full of that I cleared out, and it was just hard work. Okay, here's our book back. She's a beauty. I haven't counted the pages or done any of that, so I'll put that in the comments when I get the post ready. I just used this vintage lace to tie around it because it was so gator-mouthed. It was so fat that I needed to help it stay closed. All right, so ready? Let's flip through. Okay. All right, so we've got a little pocket here with a tag. Little tag over here on that side. Pretty journal card here. You're going to see some of the stuff that we made together, some of the ephemera, and you might recognize some things in the book from when I actually was doing some of the construction on film. Now this is a little glassine bag, and I put the bookmark in there. You could take it out, put something else in there, but that's where it is for now. Another little pocket here. May not show you every single tag. This is a pull-out print of a check. And then it's also a pocket, and I just put a tag and a little piece of ephemera in there too. This is a little tiny pocket. I didn't put anything in there. There's a journal card here. Okay, so here is where I want to put these 2 journal cards. This is the middle of the signature, and so I made this mirror image sort of corner tucks. So I thought it would be fun to have 2 journal cards in there that actually could be put together and make one picture. So that's why I did it that way. So that's just going to go here, and this one will go over here. Making the book even fatter. All right, now this is a little pocket here with a tag in it, and then this whole thing flips up, and there's a little tag in here as well, and then you can write on the lined part too. These pull out a couple of times, each one, for lots of writing space there. This is a little hanging tag that you can write in and on the back and everything. And then this is our pull down belly band where you can also write inside here on the back side too. Some of these elements you'll see in each book. I mean, I repeated them because, you know, there's a limited amount of things you can do. I try to come up with new things, but it's just another pretty journal card. That's a piano roll on the back. There's a pretty tag I showed you earlier. Nice big one. That one sticks out the top of the book. Oh, here we have an envelope. You can write here. You can tuck a little something in there. I did not. And then I just put a journal card inside there. And this envelope can just be held closed here by slipping it under that tag. Here we have the little picture. I don't know what you call this. I didn't make this up. I saw it somewhere once upon a time. But so I don't want to take credit for, like, you know, coming up with that idea. Here we've got that pretty little one I showed you. It's just like a little booklet. And then this opens up for more writing space here. This opens up again. There's a lot of paper there. If you don't want all of that paper in there, you could take some of it out too. Just added a bird on that page and a little bit of collage. And a label up there. These stamp collecting pages, I did add real stamps on those here and there. Just a pretty, like the colors of that with that pretty caramel colored book page. Here's just a little tiny tag in this little sack. And then that is also a tuck spot, and in here I tucked this little journaling spot that I showed you. I think that was last week I showed you that one. And this also opens up here for writing. In here I've created a journaling spot on a paint chip. Just added a little pretty flower label there. There's a pocket with a tag in it. Here are 3 tags on the edge. This is a tuck spot, and I forgot to put something in there. I'll have to tuck something in there for you because that looks cool. And then I left the tags blank so you can write something on there or put your own pictures on there or whatever. There's a little up tuck here with a journal card. And then here is our pretty belly band with this, that envelope. I did tuck a couple of pieces of ephemera in there. This one has an old photograph and an old, like an old menu card for a table. I didn't know what to do with this guy, so I just left him. I just added a label and left him there. You can cover him up if you want to. He's got nice curly hair. This is a little booklet I showed you early on, made out of an old title for This Book Belongs To page from a Reader's Digest book. Here is a flip up postcard you can write on. Just a little tuck spot there. This is actually something that was in a book that I took apart, and I thought it was kind of cool with the little side tab like that, so just use it just like that. Added a butterfly there. I just added some labels across the bottom of this just as like a little border. And then this is a big pocket. In here is just another journaling spot. This is actually made out of wrapping paper, so it's very thin. And this flips up here, and there's just a nice writing space there. Added a bird onto that page. There's another little tag in here. And a journal card tucked up in that corner tuck. Tag here in this corner tuck. And I added that really pretty big hydrangea there. I love that. Some pretty eggs overlaying that page. In here I tucked that little ephemera that we made. I'm not going to take it apart. You can go back to one of the previous videos and watch those, how I made those. Here on this flap I did a little bit of weaving with just some of the thinner scraps of paper that I had. And then there's a couple pockets in here. Nice big journal card here. Here's the little offcut from that other project with the little envelope cut off. And I just put a little pretty tag in there. There is a second spot here if you wanted to add another tag or something else behind there. You could put two things in there. A pretty tag there. Just added some pattern paper on there to make that look a little more interesting. And I fussy cut this pretty forget-me-not wreath and added that there. Now here's our little window pocket flip. And so I created a tag specifically so you would be able to see the image through the window. So it's just this really sweet little vintage picture of a little girl. And then on the back, just kind of cool with numbers and stuff for writing. When you put that back in the pocket, then you do see those numbers through that pocket, or if you had writing there, you would see the writing. Just a little half page here of some vellum. This little tuck, I added a journaling spot and kind of took advantage of the fact that this is open on the right hand side. So I actually, when I glued that butterfly down, I just cut around it so that the edge of the tag is not square, or the edge of the card, I guess it is. It's not a tag really. There's another one of those little journal spots that I created, and this one is like a tissue or a tracing paper pocket here, and then underneath here there is this graph paper that folds down where you can write. This one opens up this way. Some old vintage photography magazine page there. On this side I have this nice pocket, and this is where I added the notebook that I made out of the art book page. And then here we have just these separate little flips of these, they were like shipping cards. Little tuck spot here. This is just a folded card to write in. And again, this beautiful old ledger here. Added a tag in there. It was kind of fun because I used a lot of blue, but blue is a lot of different shades, obviously. And on this one, it's a blue bird, but it picked up some of the colors that were on this page too. In this one, I just made a journal card out of a, this was just a greeting card, a Monet greeting card. I just added a little bit of collage to it. And just a little bit of flower there in the corner to make it pretty, but nice writing space there. This one flips out. You could do something fun with that if you wanted. Here I just made a little tuck spot out of a label. And this one I just glued the tag onto a tri-folded piece of paper just to give some extra space to write there. And then this is a little sewn in booklet here. another little tuck spot here with a journal card. More of that ledger. A little bit of vellum on top of that little page. Here are split pages where we made them into the belly bands. I did this a little different on this one. I took this center paper and folded it in half so it's one piece. So the belly bands are not together. You'll see one here. And that just has a couple layered tags to write on there. And then in the middle here, nice space to write. And then another set of belly bands back on the back here. I won't pull that out, but it's the same thing. It's a little set of tags. Just a cute little tag in here with a bird on a nest. This pulls out. That was one of those little workbook checks from an old accounting class. Just added a label there because I felt like it needed something blue. And on the last page, one more little sort of tri-fold. We've got a pretty tag there. When you open it, there's another tag, and then you can write in the center part there. Okay, so that is the book. If the video is live, then the book is ready in the Etsy shop. So please go take a look if you're interested. Thanks for joining me, and next week I'm hoping I'll have another book to show you. It's killing me, you guys, but I'm trying to work through them. Have a wonderful week. Thanks. Bye.